Hey guys, we are going to do a get ready with me today with using coral and teal. First, I am putting on some just eye cream, and this is the Algenist eye balm that I use on a daily basis. Then I'm just using my Garnier Moisture Rescue Refreshing Moisturizer for the daytime that has the SPF in it. And then right now, as I'm looking for whatever I'm looking for, I'm going to use the NARS Smudge Proof Eyeshadow Base. I like to put this on before I do my foundation because I like the way it sets while in a little bit of time. So then I'm actually going to use the Benefit Professional Primer, and I really like the way that this fills and keeps the makeup lasting so long all day. And you can actually put this over makeup, which is really cool. Then I'm going to use my NARS Radiant Creamy Concealer in Chantilly. This is the lightest shade that they carry. I just really like the color that this is, and it does a really great job of brightening without being too harsh. Then for foundation, I'm using right now the NARS Sheer Glow in Cyan, and when I put it on, it does look very, very harshly yellow. But I do really like the tone of this foundation, and it's a very good match for me because it takes away my surface redness that I have. And my face is actually a little broken out right now, so it does a really good job of calming that down. And I can actually kind of build it in the areas that I need a little more. I can also kind of use it as a spot concealer just with my fingertips, and it just gives me the coverage that I need without putting like a spot concealer over top of it. And then to set my whole face, I'm using the Revlon Nearly Naked powder, and I believe that this is in the fair shade. And it's just like a really nice, just pressed powder setting it. And then for my under eyes, I've been setting them with the NARS. I'll have to put the link for this down below because always forget the name, but it's their kind of translucent brightening powder, and it does a really good job of brightening my under eyes. Then I'm using a little bit of the Chocolate Soleil bronzer from Too Faced just to add a little bit of contour. I've really not been wearing a whole lot of bronzer lately, so, and then just kind of warming up my whole face. Then I'm deciding what blush I want to do. And I'm using the Fuchsia Fusion from the e.l.f. Studio Blush. I don't really understand why I picked this blush. I do love the e.l.f. Studio blushes, but this is very pigmented, but it has gold glitter in it, and it does transfer. And it's very, very chalky. So then for an eye base, I'm using the Pure Gold NYX Jumbo Pencil and just kind of running that all over my lid and just blending it out lightly with my fingertips. The first palette that I'm going to be using is Sparkle Till Morning from Wet n Wild, and I'm just taking kind of a champagne kind of gold color, and I'm putting that in the first third of my eyelid. It comes out a little more copper than I anticipated, so then what I'm doing is I'm taking just a little bit of more of a neutral champagne and putting that just over top just to calm it down a little bit because I didn't want it to be so champagne. And then the next color that I'm using is a Maybelline Duo in Oriental Spice, and I'm just using the coral color because I did want that strong coral to stand out in this look, and I'm putting that in the rest of the eyelids and just kind of working to blend the two colors together, kind of going back and forth, just, you know, blending back and forth, getting a little bit of the next color and just kind of blending them into each other and keeping, again, the coral the most strong. And I took this into my crease, but not like where I would put a transition color. And then most of this is just kind of working to get the blend that I wanted. And I'm just taking a clean blending brush and just kind of blending the edges. And then for my transition color, I'm lightly using Brown Script from MAC. This is a very, very pigmented color, so I use it very sparingly, but I like it with this coral because it's a very warm crease color. A lot of this is just me kind of blending back and forth because I have, you know, too much. And then I also take Moleskin from MAC, which is my normal neutral transition color, and it just helps kind of tone and calm everything down. And then in this palette, I am going to go with that copper color and just add a little bit of sparkle to where that I put that coral color. And what I found in this look is it started going very fall because I did take a little bit of a dark brown and put that on my outer V just to get a little bit of depth. And what I found was this in turn turned from a coral kind of springy look that I wanted to a very fall copper look. So I'm just kind of blending and playing with it here, and then I go back with a little bit of the coral shade because I did lose a little bit of it in the blending process. So I just kind of go back and just get it strong again. And then I'm going to take, this is Stila Smudge Proof liner, and I believe Lionfish. It's the brown kind of shimmery color. It's a very nice neutral brown, and I'm just kind of messily applying it to my upper lash line just to get a little bit of definition. But I do have a lot going on the eyes, so I didn't want to do anything too hectic. And then I'm also using the Mint liner from NARS in Barrow Street, and I'm using this to kind of lighten up the under eyes and the liner, and I'm smudging this very thickly. I know you probably can't see it that well, but I added a thick line, and then I'm going to take the Teal and the Sparkle Till Morning palette and just going over top of it just to get that bright, very fun teal that this look really needed. So I just added that. And then for my inner corner highlight, I just used the lightest kind of buttery yellow color in the palette and put that in my inner corner. And then just went back with a little bit of the Lionfish from Stila just to kind of pull together my lower lash line. And then I'm going to use some mascara. And then for my lips, I'm using a soft matte lip cream from NYX, and it's in Antwerp. And then that is Creamsicle from Buxom to finish off my lips. I hope you guys liked this look. Again, I can't really get the whole like lighting of the situation figured out, but I hope you love it. Bye.